Hey everybody, so figured I would do an update. I mean, I've had bunches of people who've been asking me what's up, and because I haven't done anything with this in a while. I've just been busy, so I figured I would do this here right quick before the storm comes rolling in that's on its way, because I just heard from the other room the wonderful weather alert. So yeah, and of course, it even shows up on my phone. You got the little weather picture on there, so it's telling me that it's about to storm. So anyways, I have these boards here, and I had a stability problem with temperature. Like in mobile units, I'd go throw a radio in the car, and it'd get baking hot in the car, and you had trouble. It just would drift around. It'd get hot, and you'd have problems with it. But it had a footprint for a crystal. And long story short, the SI 5351 spec sheet, data sheet, it didn't say you could use a temperature compensated crystal oscillator, and it just sort of alluded to it, but it didn't say you could. So I mucked around with it and found out that it worked just fine. But the footprint on there is meant for a crystal, not a temperature controlled or temperature compensated crystal oscillator, which usually they have an HCMOS output. So I had to alter that, and I could bodge it onto these, and I did that and found out that stability, of course, was regained. So I was running around with this radio, see the Captain tape maybe in there, and where I bodged the thing in, so it worked just fine. So I got some new boards with the correct footprint, and of course, once again, I asked for 5, and they sent me a whole bunch, 11 to be exact. So you ask for 5, you get 11. I asked for 5 the last time, I got 12. So so far I'm being doubled, so that's fine. And the boards look great, and they're black. Woohoo! Figured I'd try out their black ones. So for those who are inquisitive enough, these are the ones that I typically use when I want something stable. They're made by Fox. I've never had a problem with these 924 series Foxes, and I've got tons of them all over. Crystals, normally I don't need anything stable, but when I do, I use those, and this has a crystal for the micro because it doesn't need to be stable, but the synthesizer has the TCXO on it. So that said, and I'm sitting here and I'm monkeying around with it, and I'm having all kinds of trouble. You see, I got AVR Dragons out, and I got this other one, and I don't know. I've been having trouble with my Dragons, and in fact, these two here, I think I blew them up, which is not uncommon. So of course I go and get my Atmel Ice. It works just fine. I have no idea. Don't ask me. I think I probably tanked them when I was doing something else last week, and I probably destroyed both of them in the process. Oops. These things are notoriously easy to kill. Not sure why, but I've yet to kill an Atmel Ice. Go figure. So anyway, I was able to program this guy up, and there we go. So now it's a matter of I was thinking I was tripping the encoders that are not plugged in, because there's spots for, I already have the header soldered in for the encoders, and I thought for a second there I was tripping them just by touching them, which means I was going to have to go and check that out, because it shouldn't be that pretty. It shouldn't be that easy to do. But no, that's not happening. It's just where I was monkeying around with it in the code. So that said, new board was just pretty much just doing the smoke test. Just figure I would check the regulator to see what the temperature of the regulator is. Probably see the red dot on there, just to see how warm these things are getting, and how warm they're getting over there by the or how warm the synthesizer is getting, and various things, because I was having some temperature problems. So that's the temperature of the regulator, and that's for the metric folks. So that's okay. I'm not miffed about that. I'm stuffing 14.5 volts into it. It's 60 milliamps for this whole thing, you know, so yeah, the voltage regulators aren't breaking a sweat because the microcontroller and the display just simply don't draw enough to make it a problem. Nor do any of the external peripherals on here. So anyway, I've got to return this to the other bench and you know, pretty much be done with this, put this in a radio and move on. Now, another thing that I got was, I've got one of these. I saw this on AliExpress and I figured I'd get one just to try it out. And this is a color LCD. And it's Spire I2C. It's just a matter of seeing how much I have to alter the code to drive a color display. A color display would be pretty cool. But this would never fit in a mobile radio, at least not a 148 or a Granite XL or any radio like that, because it's simply too big. These fit, but these don't. Of course, you can see the size difference. It just won't work. But this might work in a Cobra 2000, so I'm thinking color, nice nifty color display in a Cobra 2000. And I also got a few. These things finally showed up. These things sat in customs for like 2 weeks, and when I got the box yesterday, it was inside of a bag that had the labels taken off of the box and taped to the bag, and I suspect that it was inspected by customs, which is why it took so long. I'm sure that they probably x-rayed this thing and wondered what in the hell are these two cylindrical devices. So I think that customs was really curious to know what these are. Are these hand grenades or something? Because I mean, they're about the right size. So but no, they're 30 dB 25 watt attenuators. You know, I can put two of these back to back, and they have end connectors, so I could put two of these back to back and, you know, 60 dB 25 watts. You know, so that's why I got them. I got them for monkeying around with the spectrum analyzer, but I have an RF tap already, so you know, it's just if I ever wanted to directly connect a radio to the spectrum analyzer so that I can do, you know, minus 60 dB at 25 watts. So, you know, you have to protect the input of that. So that should be plenty of attenuation for a small-ish radio. You know, 60 dB, 25 watts. You're not gonna get that much power out of a CB. At least not a not one of the ones like a 148 or something. Yeah, you're not gonna get that. But I just found it interesting that they had obviously tore it all to pieces, because I mean it was just all haphazardly stuffed together, and you could see where everything was just cut open and whatnot. I don't fault the eBay seller that I got these from, and I already measured them, and they're correct and everything. I mean, you know, they were like $15 a piece or something like that, but I just found it really interesting that they actually went through all the trouble to see what these things were. I mean, it's written on the package and everything what they were. They were attenuators, but I'm guessing that some fool saw them on an X-ray and said, huh, I wonder if those are bombs or weapons of some kind. And nope, I can tell you right now, they're just attenuators, but 2 weeks in customs. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. Going to swap out the red board for the black board, put it in the radio, see how well it's working. Just measure the output of this thing. I'm just doing it with a counter. It is running, so how come I was getting it before, so I know it's outputting. Oh, there it goes. 35.005029. So it's a little out, but that's good. And it's supposed to be, it's 27.205, and you got 7.8 megahertz. So yeah, it's off without calibration. 25 hertz. Anyways, so that's good. I'm happy with that. Calibrate it, no problem. You calibrate it right on the screen. So you know, there's nothing to tweak on that, because that oscillator. See if I can't measure what the output of that oscillator is. Hell, which pin is it that's the output? Number 3. So that's going to be this corner, if I can measure it. The crystal, or the TCXO output is 25.000019. So this thing is 17 hertz out. You can't complain. I mean, that's within its spec. So you know. Anywho, so that's basically it. Just going to monkey around with this a little bit more, swap it around, and then by then I should probably have a little bit more to show than, you know, this. So anyway, guys, till next time, thanks for watching. Be careful. Next video, I may very well have a Cobra 2000 with a color display in it. Yes, got a color display. Yeah, gonna fool with it. We'll see what I come up with next. So anyway, guys, till next time.